Good morning. It is, wow, it's always I gotta get a mirror in here or something. I just can't ever get over this is only gonna get worse as we continue rolling through this pandemic. I stopped shaving, obviously, and we're just gonna see how bad this can get. But the hair, man, the hair we got, I don't know. I don't know what to do. My name is Jeff Blankenburg. You're here on my channel because I don't know, maybe you made a mistake and somehow you ended up here. You clicked the link you weren't supposed to. But I'm glad you're here. And what we're going to do today, as we've been doing about a week now, is continuing to work on an Alexa scavenger hunt. And I have some cool ideas on some things that I want to do today. One of the things that I mentioned in my tweet that went out a few minutes ago is that I've been experimenting with using audio files instead of Alexa's voice. And so I'd like to play with that a little bit. I don't know if we'll be able to do that on stream or not because I have my really good microphone right here, and I'd like to use my really good microphone to record those, but I'm not sure if I can do that at the same time that I'm streaming. So we'll see. We'll try it, and we'll see what happens. But in addition to that, I also want to continue to move all of my content as much as I can out of the code of my skill. One of the things that we focused on the last time that we were here on Monday, gosh, is it already Wednesday? I can't even get over it. But when we were here on Monday, we started moving a lot of the content out of the skill. And so this meant hooking up Airtable and starting to build a content collection there. So one of the things that I'm going to experiment with is how do we use audio files when we have them and use speech when we don't. And so that's what I'm going to play with today. So let's, I guess let's get right into it. One of the other things that I'm going to introduce, just so those of you that are tuned in know this, I'm continuing to try to experiment with this channel. This is an experimental place for me to try things, to code things, to try different things for streaming. And so I'm constantly moving things around and trying stuff. You may have noticed that I've added music during the intro when we're waiting for everything to load up and the stream to start. But in addition to that, I've also added music here. And so when we're in this normal view where I'm in the corner and we have music, we have the code on the screen, there's also music playing in the background. So I'm really curious for all of you to tell me, is it annoying? Is it nice? I feel like it cleans up kind of the dead space between my words a little bit to be able to play some music. Maybe it's the wrong music. I don't know. But I had to find something that was royalty free and that was long enough. And so I think this song is like 27 or so minutes long, and it'll just run on a loop as we're here streaming. But I'm very curious to see what you guys think of that, since that's kind of the new thing that I've added today. I expect to add more on Friday. I just subscribed to Streamlabs Prime, which gives me a whole bunch of different widgets and things. So I would expect, like on that loading screen, I'll now have a countdown clock that will show you how much time is left until the stream starts, right? So you can see a countdown. I also think there's a way where I can add like a shadow. So you can kind of see me getting ready and whatever, but it's all just kind of done as a shadow. The music volume is low. I'm listening on my iMac, not headphones. Well, I can turn the volume up. That's no problem. That's one of the other things that I need to know. Karthik, what do you think? Is the music too loud? Let's see if I go find my audio. There's my microphone. There's my background music. Trade Last is here. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to turn the music up just a little bit. I don't want it to be disruptive, but I do want it to fill in the background noise. So Karthik can't hear any music. I feel like there's definitely, like, I'm getting feedback that there's music playing. I can turn it up. Here, I'm going to turn it up all the way until you guys can hear it, and then I'll back it off from there. How about now? So is that's too loud? This is really good feedback. I can hear it now. You guys are all able to hear it. Is it too loud though? Is it over top of my voice? Like, I don't want it to be intrusive. I just kind of want it to sit in the background there. What do you guys think? Slightly low, but should be fine. All right, I'll leave it right there. I just kind of want something to fill the sound, and I feel like Karthik said, this is focus music. That's the whole point, is to kind of keep the focus and keep it going. But I can't hear it at all. So if I put my headphones on, I can. But I feel like it's going to be. Yeah, that's not too bad. I was also looking at some electronica stuff, because that tends to be the kind of music that I enjoy listening to when I'm coding. But it varies so wildly in volume that I was hesitant to do that on my first go. So I'm going to find a library of music and pull in like 10 or 15 different songs, and then it'll just randomly pick them. That's all stuff I can do with some of these new controls. So we'll be playing with that over time, but I'll leave that music there in the background. And if it gets annoying or it gets loud, because it is a song, so there's different parts to it. If it gets annoying or it gets too loud, let me know, and I'll try to monitor that. Okay, so we're working on this whole scavenger hunt thing. Oh, ice cream, that's a great question. So the here, let me just show you in a browser. I like this guy. I fell in love with his music. I'll drop it in the chat. I like this guy because he gives his music away for free, so you can just go to royalty-free music, and all you have to do is provide attribution. But he has all these different categories of music, so you can come in and find electronic or video game music or mystery or comedy or whatever. And they really do feel like the comedy ones are very lighthearted and whatever. The adventure ones all feel like they could be the background of an Indiana Jones movie. They're really, really well done, and they're free. All you have to do is provide attribution. And he's been making music for literally years. A lot of these are really good for things like mobile apps where you have a small period of time where you want to play some audio. This is a longer play, right? Like I'm basically playing music for about 2 hours. And so what I'd like to do is come up with a nice playlist, but I intend to use all of his stuff, and then I'm just going to post on my stream page. If you scroll down on Twitch, I'm just going to post that, hey, these are the songs that you might be hearing, to make sure that he has attribution there. I think you saw it on my welcome. I'm going to jump back to the loading screen just for a second, like this. Trade last, that's nice. But you can see that on the welcome screen, like it's much louder, and I have it like a kind of a thumping beat, like to get people ready for the craziness that will ensue as we go through all this. But so in each of those modes, you can see that I have different music, and I have my attribution there on that loading screen. So I don't have loading screen here, or I don't have attribution here, but I am using his music, and I will add it to the video itself once this is done. Which is his requirement. I don't have to like put it on the screen, but I do have to make sure it's included with the video. So Trade Last was calling out the C that is on my shirt. This song, in my opinion, is a titch too loud. Perfect. That's good feedback. So I'll come back. Yeah, it's getting into the red now. Like I said, I kind of wanted to back it off just enough that it's in the background. That looking at what I'm seeing, that seems like it's a little better. Anyway, so this is the Cleveland Indians logo, if you don't know that. It's a baseball team here in the United States, and I am missing baseball. It was supposed to start in late March, and here we are in almost the middle of April, and there's no baseball. I've heard rumors that they're going to try and have the season and play it, like all the games will be played in Arizona at all the parks they have there. So at least all the games get played, or most of the games get played. But, man, I'd really love to go watch a game. And if they have them in Arizona, and I can go there, that might be interesting. But they're talking about having them play with no crowds and just keeping the teams quarantined together, which I think is interesting. Because, they have families and stuff like that. And even during a regular season, they have families that they go visit on their off days and stuff like that. So I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but I am missing me some baseball. Okay, so the stuff that I want to work on today is primarily related to Airtable stuff. So I've been playing around with the Jeff Blankenburg skill, and I want to do a lot of the same things here in the scavenger hunt. So as you see we did last time, we did things like, welcome to the scavenger hunt, this is Jeff Blankenburg scavenger hunt. I don't actually want this one here. Welcome, no, I want to change this one to welcome to one of the toughest puzzles you'll encounter. I have my action query, which I think is just one right now. I don't even have it in here yet. So I was kind of working through this, trying to get the speech into my database instead. And I had a very simple function to do this. I have a function here called getRandomSpeech. And all it does, I mention what table I want it from, and then it goes to that table, randomly selects an item from that list, and returns it, and that's what I use instead. And so one of the things that we needed to do was in our data table, we have puzzles. And this is where I need to be able to say, oh, you're on puzzle 1, you're on puzzle 2. You're right. Remember on Monday we also did a lot of user management stuff. So now we have users creating records in our database, and we are tracking their mobile number and their email address. I'm deciding to throw that all away. I learned something interesting yesterday, and I don't think that I'm going to use the customer profile API at all. And I really want to have that data, but I think for a number of reasons I feel better off just asking the user for their mobile number and sending them things via text. One, text is far more visible on their phone. If I send them a card, even if the cards are well done and robust, or like let's say I could do APL in the app, if they don't have notifications on, they're not going to see it. It's not designed in a way to do what I want it to do. So I really feel like sending them text messages works really well. But I also have the catch of when people are using an Alexa device in their house, like every device in this house, I probably have 15 or 18 devices in my house. All of them are set up with my account. Well, if one of my kids wants to play this game, I'm just going to start getting a bunch of random text messages if I use the customer profile API. What I should do is ask the user, what is your cell phone number? And then use the number that they give me. That seems like a better approach. And so maybe that's the thing I should start with is, oh, welcome to the game. This is the first time user experience thing. Welcome to the game. This is a crazy difficult puzzle that you're going to have challenges with. In order to play, I need your cell phone number to send you images. What is your cell phone number? Right? Something like that. And then I'll have to capture that. So let's do that first. I'm going to need phone number intent. So we'll use this hello world as an example. I think it's weird. Normally when I build skills, I'm so quick to go build out a bunch of intents. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Ice Cream. Maybe I could send them a code, and they have to tell me what the code is. That would be pretty easy to do. Just to authenticate that, or tell me the code. Hey, I've just texted you a code. Please let me know what that code is. And I could just randomly gen a 4-digit number, drop it in their data table, and wait for them to respond, so that I'm doing some kind of validation on it. But I agree with you. I think that the spamming is potentially an issue. But if I send you a message and you have to validate it, then I feel a little bit better about that. I mean, if they have access to your phone, I can't stop that. But all right, so let's try a phone number intent. And is there a built-in? Is there a Alexa built-in slots? So I don't know if there's a phone number or not, especially because that varies wildly. There is a phone number. Where is it available? This slot type is in public beta. This slot type can be used with skills in all supported locales. That's lovely. Okay, so international number with a leading plus sign. +1509. Okay, so people would have to say the +1. And if they say... boy, I really need their whole thing, their international number and everything. You can even whisper the numbers. That's fun. All right, so Amazon phone number is the thing that I'm going to use. So I don't have the syntax for slots. This is something I never type. I always just open and reuse over and over and over. This is what I'm working on. I need this. It's amazing how little you can remember syntax when you're working. So this is the phone number intent. This is going to be Amazon.phone number. And then this is going to be what am I missing? A comma? No, I'm missing one of those. And then a comma? Yeah. Okay, and so these are going to go away. And I could just have phone number. This is going to be a pain in my butt later. I can already see it. Isn't that how I do that? What am I doing wrong? Whispering on the Twitch is something like a DM, right? Yes. Yes, if you whisper to me, I think that's like a DM. You are correct. So, you like how I write the slots in the editor? I don't like doing it at all because I never remember the syntax. The thing I needed was this. Yeah, no, Karthik, I'm with you. This is a battle for me. I try to live only here because otherwise I end up... my phone number is... phone number. And we'll do like... my number is... So I don't... Karthik, I don't normally do this. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to pretend like I know the syntax and like all this is super easy, but it's way easier to generate this stuff in the developer console and then copy and paste it in here. So I'm going to need this one. I'm also going to need, we're going to call this pin validation intent. This is going to be pin, and this is going to be Amazon dot, is it 4-digit number? Yeah, 4-digit number. So we're going to use that. You can mask the number and send whenever you want. You can mask the number and send whenever you want to send. What does that mean, Startup? Thankfully, I have enough code samples. If you look at my GitHub folder, I have so many projects that I've started building or whatever. These are almost all Alexa skills, unless they have like a domain name in them. These are all samples that I built in some way. So there's a lot of good sample code in here, and it is hardcore. A lot of this stuff is really challenging to do, and you just have to remember all the pieces. So this is going to be pin validation intent. The name is pin. This is going to, I already forgot what it is. It's capital 4-digit number. this is just going to be pin. It is pin. Probably just that is all I need. Yeah, I mean, they're actually, I don't think I have it installed right now, but there is a VS Code plugin for the ASK CLI, but it's just the CLI commands. It would be nice to have the ability to do some of that stuff. User snippets are also a nice way to do it. Karthik, that's great. I think snippets are a cool way to go to use that stuff over and over. That's probably stuff that I should do. I just haven't. Okay, so I have two intents now. I have my phone number intent and I have my pin validation intent. And so let's go use those in some meaningful way. So now what I need to do, now I need to know it's the user's first time. Actually, do I need to know that? I don't think I need to know that. The other thing that I don't need to do is we're going to go into get user record, which was the thing that we created last week. And this is where I believe we had get mobile number and get email address. We're not going to do that. So we're just going to comment these lines out, because instead what I'm going to do is just ask the user. So what I can do is say, do I have, let's see, get user record. I have the user ID coming out of their response, and then I'm filtering it down to look in my database to see if that user ID already exists. And if there isn't a user record, then I'm going to create one. All of this is great, and when I create my new user record, I'm putting in mobile number and email address. I'm not going to have those, so we're going to get rid of them. And then down here, if they already have a record, I'm going to retrieve that record, and I'm not going to update it with their stuff. I don't even need to do any of this. I just needed to get their record, and we're going to do this update later. So I'm going to save this piece because I'm going to use it later in another place. So we can do this, and I've saved my code. So now I just want to return user record.record 0. So that should give me my user record that I'm passing back. And so in either case, I'm passing back the same record object, which is good. So that all goes away. So I've simplified that process. So now what I need to do is up here in my launch request, I need to say, is this their first time? Or, I'm sorry, I don't even care about first time. What I care about is, do I have their number? So I need to make sure that I'm storing the user in, and I think I'm doing this. If I getting user record is happening there. That I'm looking at my request log. So getting user record, and then I'm setting my user into my session attributes for session attributes.user. So this means that I can take this, and in my launch request, I'll need locale at some point, I'm sure, but the first thing I want to do is get those session attributes rolling. And then down here, I'm going to do if session attributes.user fields, and then in my data table for user, I have fields.mobile number. I don't even know that we'll need email address anymore because email seems clunky for this. But if mobile number is undefined, so that's capital M, capital N, dot mobile number doesn't equal undefined, then we're going to do, actually, let's do equals undefined. Then this is where we're going to send a response that is like, hey, you can't play this game until I have your mobile number. So I can say, I'll leave my speak output equals nothing. So in here I can say speak output equals, I noticed that you don't, we don't have your mobile number. A huge difference between using Airtable and Dynamo in terms of performance. I will tell you that I don't know how the performance for Airtable could get better. I haven't seen any issues when I've used Dynamo, but that was a ways back, and I was never as comfortable or familiar with what I was doing with Dynamo. But I got the responses that I needed in the time that I needed it. But Airtable has been incredibly responsive. I have not done any like analytics to actually measure how long response times are, but my skill is very responsive. I don't feel like I'm waiting for a lot to happen. So from that perspective, I feel pretty good about Airtable's performance and response times. I hope that answers your question, but yeah, that's been my experience so far. Okay, so I noticed that we don't have your mobile number. This, I'm going to change these obviously. Game requires it because we will send you some of the puzzles as images. What is... I agree. I think that there is the risk of rate limiting, but that's something that we can talk to them about or deal with in the future. I am using the free tier of Airtable. In fact, you'll see some of my architectural choices are based entirely on the idea that I want to stay inside of that. But yeah, the performance has been really, really solid. And the ability for me to create and navigate the interface is hands down better than Dynamo. I think that with a better interface, a better editor, I think that Dynamo could be a winner, but it's just not the thing for me. What is your full mobile phone number? Okay, so I've got my speech there. And that's what I notice. We don't have your mobile phone number. That's what I'm going to say. That's if they don't have a mobile number. I guess I'm going to have to do some conditions on this. Yeah, Ice Cream, that's been the biggest selling point for me on Airtable, honestly, is decoupling my content. It's so easy for me to be able to move all of my content to the cloud and easily update my skill without having to compile any code or push anything to Lambda or anything like that. And the documentation is fire too. I'm a big fan of how their docs work. So I have one more condition that I need to catch here, which is validation pin. And I don't know if I can I do a formula? Can I do equals random? Man, that would have been awesome if I could do random. I could probably figure it out here, but I can do it in JavaScript. All I really need is a number field, an integer that is validation pin. save that. I'm going to put this right next to their mobile number so I have it. So I have this validation pin, and I'm going to use that to determine whether or not I've already tried to send them a message. And so to do that, what I need to do is say, what is your mobile number? I think that would work pretty cool. I think that 3 random words would work. But then, like, I don't have a random word generator, and words are harder for people to remember than numbers. If I say your PIN is 7942, that's pretty easy. But if I give you 3 words, I think that's more confusing. I think what 3 words works remarkably well for locations, though, because that's way easier than two GPS coordinates, right? That are long decimals. Those are hard to communicate, and for that I love what 3 words. By the way, if you guys haven't seen what 3 words, it is absolutely one of the coolest things I've seen. Let's go look at that really quick, because I got to meet the guy that created this when I was in India at the Alexa Developer Day, Community Day. And so what they've basically done is divided the Earth up into 3-word addresses, and everything is a 3 foot by 3 foot. 3 foot by 3 foot? Yeah, I think it's a 3 foot by 3 foot square. And so you go find, let's see, find a 3-word address. Let's find Amazon HQ. I don't know where that is. That's not the right place. What 3 Funkos? That'd be funny too. I don't know why it wants me to look there, but let's say Amazon. That didn't do it either. Okay, Amazon Day 1. This is the building that I work in when I'm in Seattle. So you can see that they have this. If I zoom into Seattle and I find the building, you can see the building takes up quite a bit of space. I can zoom properly. And that every one of these grid items is a different location. So this is a really interesting problem that we've all encountered, but we've never thought about a way to solve, which is that this building has doors only on one place. So can I get rid of you? So every one of these blocks has a different set of 3 words. And the important thing to know when you say, hey, meet me at the building, is the people find the address, but then the address is this whole, I can't seem to zoom properly, but the address is this whole building, right? This whole yellow chunk here. And how do they know which door to come to or how to come in? The thing that you want to tell them is, hey, I want you to go right here to this location, which is Pedal Gloves Exists. And by giving them those 3 words, now it's not an address, it's a physical location on the Earth. And it allows you to say, I want you to go right here. And if they go right there, they're going to find the door. But you've probably encountered this on large buildings or theaters or all sorts of other public places, that it's not clear where the door you're supposed to go in is, based on just an address. And so this makes that very, very easy to find. So 3 words. Those unique 3 words are only found right there, nowhere else on Earth. But there are 3 words for literally anywhere. So if I zoom out and I go over to, let's say, India for a while, or the middle of the ocean, Kickers, Macaws, Refrain, you can see that we still have 3 words for every location, even in the entire ocean, which is crazy. So what's neat about this, though, is that they use the hard words like brushstrokes, bending, tinfoil. They use those in places no one's going. No one's going to try and meet you in the middle of the ocean. But if I come down to India, which I'm getting to very, very slowly, and we find like Bangalore, we can continue zooming in here. I'm not going to find the location that I was looking at. Reinvent's another great example, right? How do I meet you in a specific place? When it could be down a hallway in a building or something like that. So as I continue to zoom into Bangalore here, the words get easier. But because this is in English, they often focus the language words in the places those languages are spoken. And so if I want to go to this specific block in India, it's defrost, chase, overlaps, right? It's amazing to me that with like less than 50,000 English words, they're able to map the entire globe. And they've done this for a ton of languages too. So I don't know where I can see that. Somewhere, but they support a large number of languages too, which is pretty cool. So anyway, I've spent way too much time on what 3 words, but I think it's kind of a cool concept. And there are mapping apps that actually understand these phrases, so you just separate them with periods. Unfortunately, like the big ones, Google Maps and Apple Maps and stuff like that, don't do it yet. But they have a what 3 words app, so you can just go in there, type in your 3 words, and be like, oh, that's where I need to go. It's kind of cool. Startup says I should try Brigade Millennium next to the Orion Mall. Let's see if I can just find that. Brigade. There we go. Brigade Millennium. So again, I don't know where the door is on this building, but this would be a good thing to know. Like, do I want to come in over here? I don't know why it does that. I feel like I'm picking the location that I want, but it's not giving it to me. Oh, I can navigate it with my arrow keys though. So like if this is where the door is, that would be the words that I would use, right? Super cool idea. I don't think I'm going to use it for what I'm doing, but I really like it for indicating a location. That's an easy way to communicate that info. So I have this validation pin. Oh, that's very cool. The Alexa team is moving to Brigade Millennium. That's awesome. Karthik, is that a place you're going to work from, or do you primarily work from home? So we have our validation pin, and I need to get through the cases that I'm going to have here. So if mobile number is undefined and .user.fields.validation pin. Was it pin validation? Validation pin. Also equals undefined. Because that means I haven't tried to send them this before. Then I'm going to say I don't have your mobile number. This game requires it because we will send you some of the puzzles as images. What is your full mobile phone number? Okay. And then I can say else if just the mobile number is missing, but the pin has been sent. Then I know at least they've tried this once before. Oh, that's awesome, Karthik. So mobile number is undefined, but validation pin is not. Then I can say speak output, capital P output equals I have sent you a 4-digit number to confirm your mobile phone number. What is the number that I sent to you? And then finally, we'll have else if. If I have their mobile number, then we can move on. So we can just take this. And this will be, for now, it'll be this. It's not going to be this. Welcome and speak. That's not going to work. So I'll need to get rid of this. Add this in here. Speak output. Okay, so I have my 3 cases. And then I have my welcome message, which I really should. I could just do this. mix it up. I like keeping them all separate. So we'll take this up here and get my welcome message. And then speak output is welcome plus whatever speak output I already have. And then I'm going to respond, and then in this, interesting. The background music is louder, huh? All right, I'll turn it down. Again, this is an experiment, so I appreciate you guys giving me some feedback. So I've turned it down a little bit. All right, so let's keep rolling on this. So then the other thing that I really need is in my speech table, I need the action query, which I don't currently have at all. So in here, I'm going to do NUS, and then I need a voice response. Is it still too loud? I can keep turning it down. Based on the volume, it seems like it's not oppressive now, but I'll turn it down a little more. Thank you for the feedback, guys. This is all learning for me. This is great. So voice response is the thing that I want to say, and so I'm going to say things like, what is your answer? And we'll use that as the normal voice responses, but I'm also going to have some other things, and I think I'll just do those manually for now. So for this, I can do copy, and we'll do action query, and this will become action query. So I'll go get that thing every time. Thank you, Karthik. And then in here, I'm just going to make it something else. So I'm going to take this out, the question that I have at the end, and then in here I'll just say action query equals this. And then for this one, I can take this question off the end and do action query equals that. And then for this one, it'll be just fine. So I'll say, what is your answer? So that solves that problem. And then I have welcome and speak output and action query. Oh, maybe it's just the microphone, you think? I mean, I can try and bring that around to me a little bit. I tend to stand and sit. Like 2 hours is a long time to just stand and dedicated code, but I can do it. So let me see if I can get this microphone more in my face. I'm glad that you guys tune in even while you're working. And Ice Cream, I'm glad that you're tuning in. I hope you're sitting there and somebody's getting a bottle at the same time. Like that's super cool. Get your kids started early on learning some development, right? So this goes away, this reprompt here. And this is going to become action query. So this is the reason that I like to keep those things separated, because then I can take my speak output. Actually, I don't. Yeah, I do want to do that. I want to tag them together, but then I can pull action query out and make that just the thing at the end. And then with standard card, that's only going to happen when I have a puzzle. So we're going to take that piece off, and we can do here handler input dot response builder. That was standard card, and I can just add that there, and then I'll send it if I have it, and if I don't, I don't. And that's obviously going to take some work to make sure it's dynamic and everything. Okay, so there's 1,000 bugs in here. I'm almost certain of it. And the things that I haven't done yet are build any handlers for what's going to happen when they say their phone number. So the first thing I need to do is build another handler. We'll use hello world as my template for that. And we called it phone number intent. So we'll call this phone number intent handler. And then this is going to be phone number intent. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to need to add that. So we'll have launch request, and then we'll have phone number intent handler. So that's added. QU311, welcome. Hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody for being here. It's kind of flattering to know that I'm just sitting here, right? Like, I'm going to sit and write this code today either way, but I feel like doing it in public is better for other people because you might see a mistake you've made or see a mistake I've made. I make plenty of them. But to come in here and be like, oh, that's a cool way to handle this. Like, I know I do things differently than other people might. And so it's always interesting to see what your thoughts are on that and how you would approach the problem. And you guys are very vocal, so I really appreciate that. So Q311, thank you for being here. All right, so for my phone number intent handler, this is where I'm going to catch that phone number. So the first thing that I need to do is, I don't have any of those functions. So I have some code that I've written in almost every skill, but it's definitely in the Jeff Blankenburg Alexa. So we're going to do these get spoken words. For now, we'll just get that one. All this does is it goes and gets the slot value that I indicate. It's just kind of like a helper function for me so that I don't have to worry about things being broken. So I pass the handler input and the name of the slot that I want. And then it either returns to me undefined, which means the slot doesn't exist, or it returns to me the value that the user spoke for that slot. So I'm going to come back up here to my phone number intent handler, and the first thing that I want to do is comment that I'm in that intent handler. And then I'm going to need session attributes, and I'm going to need locale. So we'll take all of those, put them here. That's first. For free data storage other than Airtable, yeah, I mean, you could definitely use something like DynamoDB, especially for things like users where you can't control the amount of data that's going to be there. That's a decent consideration, is that you could just store your user records there, and then store the rest of the stuff someplace else. I also feel like if you have 1,200 users, it's probably okay to spend a little money on the skill, and we should be talking about ways to monetize that skill to justify the costs. So that's also something to consider. But as far as free data storage goes, you could use, I know that I initially started, before Airtable, I started using Google Sheets. They have a nice API. The thing that is limiting is that you'll see a lot of places where I do, let's see if I can find in my code here. When I bring something back, so like in my get user data, I say things like, where do I do this? User record.fields, and then I can say things like user record user.fields.mobile number. This is not something you can do with Google Sheets. You have to know that that mobile number is the fourth field, because it just sends you an array. They're not labeled. They're not nicely named. And so you don't get any of that stuff in your JSON. All you do is get an array of data. And so that's the reason that I moved to this from that, was because this makes it so much easier to talk to my data without having to memorize the schema entirely and say, oh, I want the fourth field, or I want the ninth field, or whatever. That was something that I really didn't like about the Google Sheets solution, but it does work, and it's not that different from how you do Airtable. It's just that you kind of have to know what the order of the fields is. And I'm sure if I went back and found, let's see if I can find that. Open recent, no, open. I don't even know if I have that project still on here, but if we go back a ways. No, I don't. Here, let's look in my GitHub, because I know that I have this code someplace. So what I used to do is make myself a little chart. Yeah, ice cream, I'm the same way. I feel like Airtable isn't so expensive. I mean, it's like $20 a month. And if I'm having some success, that's probably worth it. Let's see. So, dev tips. Dev tips might actually... We're getting too far into the distance now. Well, maybe not. Did I do it here? This might be the place that I did it. Lambda custom index. There's a place in here where I thought I just created like a list for myself of what all the fields were. No, it's not in there. Anyway, it's not important, but the whole point was that when I was building on Google Sheets, I had to create basically a little commented table for myself in my code to remind me like, oh, field 4 is this and field 7 is this. All right, let's get back to what we were doing. So I now need to be able to capture a user's phone number. And to do that, I'm going to say var phone number equals get spoken words handler input. And this is called phone number. Oh, you know what? This is going to be a good opportunity for me to do something I haven't done before. I believe that there's a way to send something to another handler using this SDK, and I've never done it, so this might be the time. Because if I don't have their phone number, then I want to kick them back to basically the launch request and say, oh, I don't have your phone number, I need to do that. So if doesn't equal undefined, then we'll do the good stuff. Else, for now we'll just do var speak output. Oh, you can't send it to launch. It just has to be another event. Well, that's okay. I can live with that. Thank you, W. Giorgio. I think I've called another handler from a handler. I think you have too, but I don't know that you can do it. I think they all have to be intent requests. I think that's what W. Giorgio is talking about. I think we talked about this on a previous stream. Okay, so speak output here is going to be equals, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What is your mobile phone full? I want to say full. Mobile phone number. So that at least catches the like, oh my gosh, I didn't get a value or I didn't hear them or whatever. This is, if I get their phone number, what am I going to do with it? So the first thing that I need to do is get a random number, and I have a function for that, thankfully. Get random, where I'm going to pass in a maximum and a minimum. Okay. So here, we're going to generate their PIN. So the first thing is get random. My minimum number, I want it to be a 4-digit number. So my minimum number is 1,000. And my maximum number is 9999. So that'll give me a random 4-digit number. And then I need to save that. So this is where I'm going to do that update stuff that we commented out down here. I'm going to take this update information, and I'm going to update their record with the information that they give me. So this will go right here. don't want this to be a return promise. I also don't care about the value coming back at all. So we can just say var record equals. And then in here, update the user, update the... I gotta be consistent with my naming. Call this... We don't care about email address anymore, but I do care about validation pin. And that is going to be the random number that I just generated. And I store it in the database for them. And then once I've done that, I think here I can do this is aggressive, but let's see if I can do this. Session attributes dot user. I'm just going to dump it right in there, one straight shot. Because I also need to make sure that my session attributes are up to date, because that's the thing that I will pull from. No, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that, because I'm going to say, yeah, I'm being silly here. Okay, so var record equals, and then down here I need a speak output, and this will be, I have sent a message to validate your phone number, mobile number. What do I say? Mobile phone number. To validate your mobile phone number. I've sent a message to validate your mobile phone number. I've sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number. What is that PIN? The last piece that I need to do, I have sent, thank you. In the C, thank you. I'm the C. Who's I'm the C? I haven't seen you before. Thank you for being here. If you are not already following, any of you, I'd love to see the little animation happen. If you can hit the little follow button above the video, there's an animation that'll appear on the screen and shows your name and all that stuff. So thank you for the catch on that, I'm the C. Yes, nice. Nice work. You've been forever recorded into this stream. All right, so I have sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number. What is that PIN? The other thing that I need to do is actually send the text message, and I think my send text message function has been destroyed. So let's come in here and find my send text message thing that originally worked. Send text message. We'll just take this and we'll bring it over here. I'm done messing with all the Twilio and all the other stuff. We'll just do that. And let's say from scavenger hunt here. And then I need to actually send the text message. So that's done right here. I want to do that as early as possible. So the moment I have their mobile phone number and PIN, which is here, we're going to do send text message. And my message is your validation PIN for the scavenger hunt is pin. If you haven't, if the skill has closed, you can say Alexa, tell scavenger hunt my pin is okay, so I've sent them a message. Yeah, Karthik, thank you for noticing that. We're 77 followers away from me doing a Bob Ross impression. That's going to be a fun day. I hope we get there. But we've got some work to do. You're going to have to tell your friends. So I've got my send text message function. Then I update my stuff. Then I have my speak output. This goes away. I'm going to have to reprompt them. I need to set up action query because I'll have different action queries. So this actually should be action query. What is that pin? And this is the action query for this one. Does it make sense to all of you why I have this kind of weird action query thing I'm always doing? It's nice to be able to spread that stuff out and be able to use the individual pieces in your response. So here I can just say action query. And then I'm not repeating the whole thing over and over. I can just repeat the question if they don't respond in some way. But that's a lot of code to have not tested. Let's go ahead and run this and we'll see what we get. This is the first code push we've done today, and we're an hour deep into the stream. There's nothing like writing an hour's worth of code and then testing it. So we'll see what comes of this. It's getting a little warm in here too. It's warm here in Ohio. Yesterday it was like 77 degrees. Today I think it's still going to be in the mid 70s. So we're going to take the Indians off and just go straight Twitch t-shirt. Hopefully without completely disrobing on stream. Okay, code has pushed. Let's just go to the testing tool and we'll do it there. So let's say quit. It's probably going to make me log in because I haven't opened this tab in forever. But let's say open scavenger hunt.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Cool. So let's go find the scavenger hunt code and see what I screwed up. Scavenger hunt. Oh, thanks, Startup. I like this shirt. This is one of my favorites. So, await is only invalid in an async function. Well, no kidding. Where did I do that? Right here. All right, let's try again. I'll probably have another one of those somewhere, but oh, the microphone's in the camera. That's no good. Updating our code. Getting a lot of Slack messages today. All right, Alexa. No, I'm doing it being the testing console, so you guys can see everything. quit. Open scavenger hunt. Alexa, Alexa. So another error.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Cannot read property mobile number of undefined on line 25, huh? Oh, because I don't need fields. Okay. So this is why you test early and often. Then you don't run into silly things like this over and over and over. Okay. So we'll give it one more try. This one should probably go, but those are famous last words. Come on. I'm gonna have to. Let's go here. What's going on in Slack? All right, we're back. All right, code is pushed. So let's go here and say open scavenger hunt.
Welcome to the scavenger hunt. What is your answer?
This is why you always put spaces, Jeff. You know better than this. You can't be trusted. Welcome to the scavenger hunt. Shouldn't. What is your answer? Why don't I have a value for speak output? Because I'm not hitting any of these cases. Why are we not hitting any? Well, that should be doesn't equal, so that's good. Oh, because I have. That's so great. Okay, so because I have in my data my mobile number. Dumb. Dumb. Okay, let's try that again. So, quit. Open scavenger hunt.
Welcome to one of the toughest puzzles you'll encounter. I noticed that we don't have your mobile number. This game requires it, because we will send you some of the puzzles as images. What is your full mobile phone number?
61432275066.
Fallback intent.
Really? Oh, this is another gotcha. This is just me being Jeff. Ask deploy. I never pushed my new model, which has the new intent. So no surprise, I wasn't able to hit the new intent that I created. So that takes just a little bit longer. How do people live with beards? I feel like it's just constantly in my mouth and in the way. All right, I'm gonna get through it. I actually like how the beard looks. If we really get into this, like, I mean, it's coming in pretty good, and like I'm shaving up the cheeks a little bit right here and here. But I don't know how people do this all the time. Like, I'm gonna have to start doing the underneath here. Haven't done that yet. It's driving me crazy. All right, sorry everybody. Code is not pushed yet. We'll get there. Lambda's going. That's good news. Means I didn't break my model. Karthik, are you saying? Oh, you're talking about your haircut. I was worried that maybe the beard was irritating you. My beard was irritating you. All right, we are pushed. Yeah, it's like I have these little scissors, and I need to like just trim the little edges right here because it just catches the corners and it's annoying. All right, let's try that again. What did I get this time? I got an error. Okay.
Goodbye.
Well, we made it to my next intent, so that's a good sign. Authorization error. That role, ask Lambda scavenger hunt. Oh, okay. Cool, we'll do it. We'll get to play with some AWS security roles. So if you guys haven't spent a lot of time with this, I'm going to go into IAM. People pronounce that IAM. So we're going to go into IAM, which is basically how you manage all of the connectivity. What can talk to what and how do all these things work. And I have a user that I'm guessing is roles. Yep. And I want the one called scavenger hunt. And I need to give this one, I'm going to add a policy. And the policy that I want is SNS. And we're going to just give it the whole thing. And so I'm going to attach that policy. And we're going to try again. So now we need to open scavenger hunt.
Welcome to the scavenger hunt. I noticed that we don't have your mobile. There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Okay, we got past that issue. Did I get a text message? Not yet. Getting some new errors I've never seen before. User record is not defined on line 68. Well, that makes sense since I don't have user record here. What I do have is session attributes. .user .record ID. That should work. All right. We'll just keep picking at this until we get it working. Ice cream still has a full beard. My daughter would kill me if I had to shave it. So far, I haven't cut it to the COVID guidelines. Man, that's rough. When you've got the love of a little girl, that's tough, man. My whole family hates it, so I don't have those issues here. Let's give this a try. My wife every day asks me, "Are you going to shave it today?" No, not today. I'll shave it when I can go get back together with friends and families. Do I really need session attributes to have another dot? How dare you notice my errors, trade last? No, it's perfect save. Thank you. So we'll get into this and then we'll test it. almost there. Excuse me. Um, if you guys watched was it Office Hours yesterday? I think it was Office Hours yesterday. I found an ant in my office, and it was right when I was showing my Alexa device, which normally looks like this, and it was crawling right across the screen as I was doing Office Hours. It was super embarrassing. Um, I'm not sure. I like the beard, but the family is not a fan. So I think it's going to be a tough sell to keep around long term, especially as it gets bigger and bushier. Because I'm trying not to trim it at all. Like I'm getting these little flare ups right now, and I feel like if I trimmed it a little bit, it would come in fuller and more balanced. Right now it's kind of chaotic, but I'm pretty sure it's going to have to come off at some point. Okay, open scavenger hunt. Let's save this too.
Welcome to one of the toughest puzzles you'll encounter.
Okay, here we go.
I noticed that we don't have your...
There's my phone number.
I have sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number.
No, you didn't. The text message didn't arrive, but we didn't get an error. So now let's go look at SNS and see if I had a failed message go out. Text messaging. Let's try it twice. So are you going to give me information on why they failed? Dashboard. None of those are good. Don't want that. Why? Why is that not coming through? Am I getting an error that I'm not aware of? No. Sending text message. I generated the number 7614 and I saved it, so that's all. I know that's really quite concerning. I don't know why the text messages are failing, but I have my validation pin. I can see that it was generated here. Not there. I can see that it was generated in my database, and I can see that it was generated here because I have the message that I sent, right? Your validation pin for the scavenger hunt is 7614. If the skill has closed, you can say... So why didn't I hear that? That's not what it said to me. What did it say to me? I have sent a message with your 4-digit pin to validate your mobile phone number. That's not what I want to say. Oh yeah, it is. I've sent a message with a 4-digit pin to validate your phone number. What is that pin? More beard, more wisdom, more wiser. I wonder if... I'm going to just test a theory. What instead of this, what if I say +1? What if I just do that? And I get rid of my validation pin. Is it that I didn't have the +1, so it didn't know how to send the number? I'm betting that's the issue. So if I come back here and I say this...
I have sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number.
Still didn't arrive. It's trying though. I mean, it's trying to send them. if I publish a text message, +1 614 327 5066. This is a test of the emergency. I don't feel like typing at all. Okay. It doesn't look like it, Karthik. I don't see any delivery status stuff, but I also don't see text messages arriving. Yeah, no text messages on my phone. Let's go look at Karthik's link. How to troubleshoot failed SNS. Oh, this is for push notifications, though, not for text messages. I don't think that's... I mean, I'll take a look, but I don't think it's the same. I think that's... We're talking about push notifications here. Oh, IAM role for logging delivery status in CloudWatch logs. Promotional. I want the logging. Give me this. Do I care? Yeah, we'll do all of the messages that are successful too. Why doesn't it know the name of the role? Normally they just fill this stuff in. Okay, I've got it. So now I just need to I need to know the name of my role that we were using. Which weird, like that's almost always a drop down. So it feels very weird that it's not. I'm going to take this one. Does it like fill in if I just do like ASK? It doesn't. Man, that's weird. Save. Enter a valid role ARN. Oh, they want the role ARN. Okay, how about this guy? Copy it. I can play your games. Save changes. Cool. Come back here. Delete my 9947. Delete my mobile number. And try this.
I have sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number.
Okay, so now let's look at this. And I have the logging status. So if we go to CloudWatch, log groups, how do I know where that goes? I mean, it would be awesome if it was in the same logging as the other stuff, the scavenger hunt, but I don't think it's going to do that. No. So it's going to be some weird thing. There's a way to... Sometimes I feel like I come in here and there's the list is sorted by Most recently modified? Creation time, that's a good one. But I can't sort by that column. That doesn't help me. Goodness, I have way too many of these. I don't know how I'm supposed to find the name of the log that was created. Wouldn't that be an interesting thing to have? I always end up in some crazy rat hole. Logging delivery status in CloudWatch logs. I don't see anything that's even resembling a log for this. Let's see. This would be the only other place I might do it. No, there's no log groups here. They have a new design? Maybe the new layout will help me find the thing I'm looking for. Try the new design. View log groups. Yeah, so SNS I have as Northern Virginia. And CloudWatch I have as Northern Virginia. What if I do creation time here? Creation time and save. And then sort it. 9 days ago is the most recent. So where are you saving this? Events? No. Metrics? SNS? Maybe it's in here? I'm not getting any data there. I don't understand. Yeah, so I'm looking in CloudWatch. I'm looking at log groups. And in here, these are all AWS Lambda because that's primarily where they're created, but there are a couple, like maybe near the end, like these. These are RDS. I would expect there to be an SNS slash a scavenger hunt or something. I don't know. Those are old things I was playing with years ago. What else? View the SNS dashboard. I did try changing my region. Like if I go to Ohio, which is the only other one I ever use, but my SNS messaging, the thing that I have set up, this is all Northern Virginia. So I feel like yeah, so it's not doing the logging that I want it to do. This is what I would expect. It would look something like this in my logs. So what am I doing wrong over here? Is there more? Delivery status logging. Does Ask Lambda Scavenger Hunt have IAM? Maybe that's the issue? I mean, I'll just slap a whole, like, CloudWatch everything. This is very irresponsible. CloudWatch. Full access. Just to make sure that's not the issue. Oh, you think it might be a delay too? Yeah, that's a possibility, I suppose. But with as dynamic as Lambda is, I would think that there would be something. So let's go back here. There's no SNS logs right now. I like that my random number generation stuff is working, but if I can't send a text message, this whole thing falls apart. That's why I'm spending so much time on it.
I have sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number.
Alexa, let's open the device. Alexa, ask Jeff Blankenburg for his favorite taco.
I'm not sure.
Alexa, open Jeff Blankenburg.
Hi, I'm Jeff Blankenburg, and you're not. This is my skill, and there's lots of things you can ask me about. You can ask about my tweets, you can ask about my favorite things, or you can ask for my contact information. What would you like to know?
Favorite taco.
I don't currently have a favorite taco. At least, I didn't add it to this skill. I'll think about what I should say, and add it here in the future.
What else do you want to know about me?
Stop. Stop.
Gotta roll.
Yeah, I feel like something has changed because that used to work in that skill. You guys may have noticed also that I've been playing with audio files, so I actually am making recordings of my voice and recording all of the different things that I want the device to say. I'm not done, not even close, but it's kind of a fun experiment. I also need to get a quieter room because this is not working right now. Okay. So it says it's doing what it's supposed to do. If I come and I look at the SNS dashboard, definitely not sending them from here. That's good news. So in here, this number just keeps going up. Four and five. I can only have 11 characters? Four and 5 is 9, and 4 is 13. That's too many. That's 10. We'll do that. Not that it matters because it's not working, but let's say $10 a month. Amazon S3 bucket name for usage reports. I mean, this is the thing that I want. What if I just create a new service role? If I just let it do it itself, does that change anything? Including at least one letter and no spaces. Okay. I can follow your rules. Invalid parameter, where? That's the worst error I've ever seen. Error code, invalid parameter. This is maddening. Here's the thing that I'm getting hung up on, everybody. If I look at the text messaging, I have the ability to just send a message right from here. So I can do +1 614 327 5066. And then I can say, this is a test message. Did you get it? And then I'll do scav hunt here as the sender ID. Publish message. That should come through on my phone because this isn't any code I've written or any roles or anything. Oh, it did come through. Huh. Okay. Why did that one go through? Okay, so maybe I need to make some changes to my strategy here. So I have been sending messages as promotional, which if I look in my code, if I look at my code where I send the text message, nope. Is there a place where I say what kind of message I want to send? Because there's a difference between promotional and transactional. So let's change that to transactional. That's my default message type. Why is this all empty? Change that to transactional and see if that changes anything. So my data table is empty. We should be able to say this.
I have sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number.
That worked totally fine. What? Okay. So I think that those higher priority messages cost more money. But the message came through. So the thing that I would want to change here, actually that's another thing we can check now. Let's see if our CloudWatch logs have anything now. Still no logs. That's weird. Yeah, we can do that. Roles. Do you see those roles? It's like those roles disappeared. But my message worked. So now we have this piece working. I should keep my eye on the prize. We can worry about logging and stuff like that right later. But I think my text message has sent. I need to have this be number message. I also, at least for the United States, where I'm going to start this, when I get their phone number and I save it, if phone number dot length equals 10. No, we should do this another way. Phone number equals fix phone number. So we'll farm that out No, ice cream. They never did get created. I thought that was very odd. I'll revisit it. I don't need to waste all of our time doing that here, but I will get that figured out for sure. I wonder if I could do this with the user's locale and everything and like really nail this down. No, I'm just gonna be lazy American for a minute. So if phone number dot length is less than 10. Return undefined, because I don't care at that point. I could do things like what is your area code, but I'm going to end up hating the fact that I have all these intents that catch random size numbers. Else if phone number, no. Phone number, goodness. Phone number dot length equals 10, then return +1 plus phone number else if phone number dot length what am I even going to do with that? Else return phone. This is lazy, but it gets me over my major issue, which is most people in the United States aren't going to say +1 on their phone number no matter how much I ask them. I'd be surprised. I wonder how many Americans even know that there is a +1 on their number. It's just inferred. So I want to do this up here now, where it's not. And then I need to check one more thing in my function, which is if. All right, take care, Ice Cream. Thank you for being here, man. If phone number is undefined, return undefined. Else. Okay. So that's not enough. That's a good start, but the other thing I need to do is in my send text message function, I need to use the actual person's number, not my number. Phone number. And then where I call send text message, this needs to be phone number and then the message. And then in my send text message, I have a bunch of extra that I need to get rid of. And that is going to be let's make this at least look nicer. Okay. Is that music still rolling in the background? It looks like it is. I'm just curious if you guys can still hear it. As we wait for this Lambda code to move. Ice Cream, I thought you left. You're not allowed to add more content to the stream. By the way, can I complain about how incredibly difficult it was to change my Wi-Fi SSID in all the devices in my house yesterday, especially on my smart home items and IoT. Our new baby monitor doesn't accept special characters in SSID, and guest network wasn't working as desired. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine, man. The number of devices I have running on Wi-Fi in this house It's definitely 3 digits. That would be a nightmare. I'm so sorry to hear you had to go through that. Let's see if we can get this working. So I gotta go back and delete my stuff one more time. And then come here and say my phone number. Good to hear, Treylas. Thank you.
I have sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number.
Okay, we're way on our way here. The other thing I need to do is update my message. Action query is not coming through. What are we sending in this? Oh, I'm okay. Dumb. Okay, so now I'm actually asking them the questions. There's one other thing where I say if the skill is tell scavenger hunt my pin is, and then we need to do that. And then I also need to make sure that I'm updating my model so that I can say my pin is pin. And apparently that's all we're going to have time for today, I think. So let's push the whole thing one more time. No, let's not do that. I have pin validation intent. We can do something here. Pin intent handler. This is going to be pin validation intent. The thing that I do up here that I want is these 3 lines, those 4 lines. We're going to at least see this pin come in. I think we have time for this. This is going to be pin. And then we'll just console log it because I don't want to do anything fancy yet. User indicated their pin is. Pin. And we'll do that. Yeah, the speed of my house is pretty fantastic. I'm really happy with it right now. I had to reset a ring light? Oh my gosh. This sounds awful, man. Alright, so we have our pin validation intent handler. I just need to copy that and add it to the list at the end. That's good. And then we should at least be able to hear the pin come in. So let's ask deploy everything. Everything's saved. Good. Hopefully this will just work on the first go, right? Like, there's no reason to fool around. Let's just make this work. With 5 minutes to spare. You can hear a pin drop, right? That music got real quiet all of a sudden. Volume seems to be super low. I think there's moments where it's louder than it is softer. But it's like a 25-minute song, I think. Hopefully Twitch doesn't freak out and ban me for copyright infringement or anything. I don't know how their algorithm works. All right. Polling a status still. I haven't broken anything, I don't think. That's good. And then I will also need to delete my data. Okay, we're deployed. So, moment of truth. Tell it my phone number.
I have sent a message with a 4-digit PIN to validate your mobile phone number. What is that PIN?
"7087" is the message that I got, so that's good. So now I'm going to say 7087.
User indicated their PIN is 7087.
And then in my logs, I should also see... Get rid of this. And I should be able to look at this. User indicated their PIN is 7087. So everything seems to be working. I have to continue the logic, obviously, to check their PIN, validate it against what they actually have. But we're close. We're real close. So then we've built our own PIN system, basically, where we can validate a message that like a phone number that they've given us. This feels better. This feels like a better way to approach this puzzle, this problem. All right, so we're at 11:58. I usually go 2 hours, and we're at 2 hours and 1 minute right now. Mickey Mouse says there's about a minute and a half left. So thank you guys. This was great. We got through a lot today, and your conversation definitely keeps me going. The status and feedback and everything that you provide me is awesome. So I'll continue to play with the stream. I'll try to find some more music that we can listen to, and I'll try to add some more widgets to the screen before Friday so that we can mess around with some other stuff. So with that, to me signing off, thank you again for tuning in. Tell your friends. I'd really love to be able to grow here. And that only happens by having awesome people like you tell people that I'm doing cool stuff. So thank you guys so much, and take